Who's ready for price action analysis on Verasity, Multivac, and or Trias? Well, if so, you're at the right spot. Welcome back to the CryptosRUS crypto and altcoin trading show. This is Tim. Today is Monday, October 18th, 2021, and let's jump into it. But before we do, smash like for me, returning viewers. Leave me a quick comment, even if it's an emoji thumbs up or an exclamation point, whatever you want to do. It helps out the algo and it helps me continue making videos for you. And new viewers, here's what my channel does for you. You're getting 2 of 3 points in the information triangle that you need in your crypto journey within crypto YouTube. You're getting project fundamentals based type of information. You're getting news based information. What my channel does for you, adds that 3rd point, is it makes charts of your altcoins less foreign to you, so you have a better understanding of what you're doing when you're clicking around with your money, because project fundamentals and news does not help you. Honestly, if you click buy based off that stuff, sometimes it'll lead you to traps. So that's what my channel does for you. If that sounds good, stick around, see what we got. And also, for all people viewing this, you need to look at my Bitcoin video first. You should see something popping up. Here, let me make myself a little bigger. Maybe. Should see something popping up somewhere on the screen with a link to that, because today is a more finesse type of... It's a moderately tricky situation with what's happening in regards to weekly closes on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So you might want to check that out, because that will be the lead or the ultimate indicator for what's going to happen with your altcoins, with some exceptions. So let's jump into Verasity. Verasity could be an exception. For example, as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum don't tank, this is a strong enough formation where it really does appear that all-time highs, or at least on a closure basis, and then thereafter, will be made relatively soon, within a week. So Verasity is, I'm going to start off with Verasity. Verasity, for having gone up so hard, so fast, without a lot of respect. So it did respect the daily 10. So I'm going to remove most of these slower EMAs here. So these are the EMAs, exponential moving averages. The red is the 10, the yellow is the 21. So you blew past both of them without much respect. You had a couple days where you came back and respect these, and then you had another pump. Now, after the second pump, Verasity has come down, not only to respect those for longer, but to also give a nice check of the previous all-time high. So it did have a breakout of all-time high. It failed that breakout, came down to retest it perfectly and ride that daily 10. Give it a whole bunch of respect. And as you should know, or if you don't know, here's some good information for you. In bull markets, so we're not technically all the way there. We are really close. I want to preface it with that. We are really close to an altcoin super bullish season, but Verasity looks like an exception. It's making all-time highs. It's among the few. There aren't many doing that, right? And landing all-time highs. So I will put Verasity into bull market mode, but not necessarily all altcoins. All right. So in bull market mode, you only need to check the daily 10. You can write up the entire move and only go below it once or twice in an entire market, an entire season. So in an entire altcoin season, it's very common that altcoins only go below their daily 10 2 to 3 times, maybe in a period of months. Right. So it just checked it. This could keep going. And then the next time it dips, it only touches the 10. And the next time it dips, it only touches the 10. And in that Bitcoin video that I linked, I showed you, and probably the previous video too, Bitcoin doubled in price, never even closing a candle below the daily 10 and only closing one candle below the 12-hour 10 EMA. So that's to say that 10 EMA during bullish markets is like your no-brainer buy. Does it work every time? No. Especially the higher a move has gone, the more likely that is the breather it needs to go below and hit the daily 21 or even the daily 55, sometimes 55% corrections during a big bull season. But for Verasity being as volatile as it is, this looks like it's more than enough to give another strong push, perhaps even bigger than this one, because it rode it for so long. And here it only checked it. So technically, this should be allowed to have a bigger push than what happened from here to here on the screen. All right, so let me zoom in just a little bit here. So I'm on the daily chart. We're looking at daily candles, which is probably the most traded time frame out there, I would say. So, and what else do we got? Oh, and we have Stokes coming down and essentially saying, to the same point, where it rejected going into the neutral control zone, and it looks like it wants to go to the bullish control zone, which is why this setup, it really looks like, as long as Ethereum and Bitcoin don't tank this and they print 2 red days in a row, this should keep going. This is a really powerful formation. It looks extremely healthy despite having just rocketed up, but it is in bull market mode, and this is allowed in bull market mode. Just riding the daily 10, super healthy, and your push can be bigger than the previous one that only checked it. So let's take a quick, percentage base here and take a look. 56%. And honestly, it's more fun to take fractals. So let's do this, and it can go higher than that, this push. So let's stretch that out, and there you go. So this could hit 10. This could be the push. This could be the push that brings it to 10 cents before the daily 10 is hit again. So let's draw in the daily 10, how that would go. And then it would start coming down. Write it. Bull flag out. Bam. Do it again. All at 10 cents. Or this could be the candle that, or 10 cents could be the candle that really, makes this go flatten out there. And then it goes straight. Bam, bam, bam. And then takes off again, similar to this formation. So honestly, the next target might be pretty close to 10 cents, if not 10.8 cents, because it's in bull market mode. And Bitcoin's not unhealthy. Yeah, this could almost double, folks. It's looking really good. Congratulations to Verasity holders. This recovered. This is a very aggressive recovery. Wow. Yeah, that's something else. That is quite an asset. And honestly, the strong typically stay strong. So if you measured all altcoins from, Bitcoin 30K, the last time it hit it in July, I think, so if you measure from that point where your altcoin was to end of bull run, because this recovered so nicely and so aggressively, this could be among the top performers from that precise point. And as you know, it did very well from the beginning of the bull run. So it's already known that this is going to be has a strong chance of being a top performer from that point, from January 1st, 2021. But even from this point here, it looks like it's going to stay strong and it's going to ride. So yeah, I have nothing but good to say about this chart. Now I can't say that about all charts, but let's go to Multivac. I think actually Multivac's looking really nice too. And new viewers, I don't just sit here and be bullish. I promise you. So honestly, I'm not that bullish on this yet, or not too unbullish, but I'm not too bullish either. So in moments where I think something's going to dip, I get a lot of thumbs downs, yeah, double plural, whatever. When I give ideas that things are going to go down 50%, 30% or whatever. So I'm not just here going, chain link to $500 or anything silly like that. All right. So Multivac is doing something very similar to Veracity. It's not quite as sexy as a posturing. So he had an a very aggressive recovery from its bottom when Bitcoin finally bounced. And guess what it had been doing? Very similar to what I think Veracity could do. Look here, let's zoom in. I'm on the daily chart. Look at that red here. Let's take off everything but the red line. Like I'm saying, things can double, and if Bitcoin can double riding the 10 EMA, altcoins can like 6 times, 7 times easily without closing a single candle below the 10 EMA. So look, this was a 7.6x move, almost 8 times. And zoom in and look, what did it do? And so this is kind of relating to Veracity, what it might be ready to do here or continue doing. So rode the 10, didn't close below it. Rode the 10, no closures below it. Finally got a closure below it after 7x. And Bitcoin can easily 2x by doing this, right? So that's how important these 10s are. The 10 of the weekly, particularly in non-bullish moments, and the 10 on the daily in bullish moments is where it's at. So Multivac, honestly, it looks like it's waiting for a weekly indicator to catch up. It's gone sideways for a while, and this will actually allow it. Let me move this here. Yeah, so it's honestly, look how many wicks you got. So big move, 7x. Hey, before we go up, let's give respect to the weekly 10 EMA. See how that works? And it's just respecting the crap out of it right now. So I am going to stick with my projection that it's going to move like this. It only needs to touch it 4 weeks. It's, you know, I told you 3 weeks ago this is going to take a while, right? And here we are 3 weeks later. It's roughly following projections that I had given. It's on track for a big explosion. Yeah, and really, okay, as weird as this sounds, so I am getting pretty bullish in this video on this, but this is going to take about 3-4 more weeks. So this will probably be behind Bitcoin. And if you do see a weekly closure above the highest weekly closure here, it'll probably take off earlier if that were to happen. But midweek, not the closure, if you see Multivac come above this weekly candle right at about 2.25 cents, it's probably going to fail that, and it'll probably come back down, just to let you know. So I wouldn't try to trade like a 4-hour breakout. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. If you're trading altcoins, and this is the 4-hour chart, you know, kind of rule of thumb, if you get a closure above the highest 4-hour closure, okay, that's relatively safe for the 4-hour. In this case, I would say it's not. I would say you need a weekly closure because the weekly 10 EMA is in play. Therefore, it is a weekly play. And midweek, if you see, like on the 1-hour chart or 4-hour chart, it go above 2.18 cents. So let's just make a line here. And I'm going to make it really bold so we know it's a weekly line. But if you see price wick up there midweek, it's probably going to come back down. Okay, unless it's the week that it's going to close. It could stay above, but this week and next week, I don't think it will yet. I bet it closes above the week of the first week of November. So around November 5th, 6th, 7th, whenever that closes, is probably when that's going to happen. And what I was going to say earlier, and so look at this. Look, there was no respect for the weekly 10 here. You see this? No respect. It just flew past. So technically, it would be allowed. I'm using that word, you know, with a lot of wiggle room, right? There's no one allowing price action. Price doesn't care what the hell I say, right? Price is going to do what it's going to do. But on a statistical basis, on how price has a habit of moving, right? So what I'm about to say is really bullish here, but I don't want to sound too crazy, especially once I put it on here. It is statistically, and by how price moves, will be allowed to have a bigger run than what it had here because there was no respect for the 10. So now that it's respected at the 10, it can actually do a bigger push. As weird as that sounds. So this could take it pretty high, folks. I mean, and it's the exact right time. I mean, this is the right time. With Bitcoin closing a weekly candle above the highest weekly candle ever per that video. Yeah, this could be the weekly push that takes it up to 12.5 cents. And that's in November. So this could do it close to 10x. No, it could do, yeah, it could, I mean, well, I said bigger. So, I mean, it could be a little bit bigger of a move. So stretch out just a tiny bit, right? All right, that's what she said. Yeah, that's a 10x move. This, honestly, this could do it. It could hit 17 cents. It really could. I would expect, though, that this origin line on a daily basis, even though the week would probably close green, I think this week that touches it is going to bounce hard off of it. You'll have 2 or 3 really deep red days within that week, but the weeks stay green, pops back up intra-week and keeps going. So just a heads up, I do have some origin lines indicating, yeah, that's kind of like a, maybe not a master line, but that one will be respected on a daily basis, but the weekly should be able to bust right through it without any problem. So that's a very tradable event, and that might happen around 5.8 cents, something to that effect. It'll probably wick past it, just a heads up. So it'll probably go, I would say close to 6.5 cents, 6.4 would be a pretty solid 20 bag opportunity. If it were to fly up to there, yeah. And if it happened before that, let's say I'm a week behind, right? And actually hit here. Well, then your target would be lower because this is an ascending line. So if it hits it sooner, it's going down, right? So it really depends on when it pops. So 5.8 cents. So I'm not giving exact levels. I'm giving this ascending line. And when it gets there, I mean, honestly, I'll let you guys, I'll let my community know first. Hey, this is a good like 30 or 40 bag opportunity. But on YouTube, I'll let you all know that, hey, this looks like a good profit taking point, and I won't let you down there. So rock and roll. Let's move on to Trias, for which we've been waiting so long, but it's going to be so worth it. Why, you say? Why will this be worth it? Well, look at all that. I'm on the weekly chart. Look at all that respect for the weekly. What did I just say about Multivac? Think about Bitcoin just closed a weekly candle above 60K. Altcoin season is close. It's close. All this respect for the weekly 10. And what I said about Multivac, because it respected the weekly 10, and it didn't the previous time, the next push can be higher. Well, there was no weekly 10 back here. But now that it's done its time, its next push can be on a percentage basis bigger than this. It really can. This could be a really big one, folks. Like this asset right now is in a good posturing to like have within your portfolio. You know, obviously you can weekly intra week trade a lot of things, right? 10 bag, 20 bag, which means sell 10 to 20% of that asset to buy back lower with a portion of your, without selling all of it, keeping 80% unsold, right? This could be an asset that could be one of those where it might get so volatile to the upside that a hold, like it's just a straight up hold strategy and only planning on selling it once or twice throughout the run up would be key. This one could get really hard to trade real fast if you're clicking around once a week or more. Could be, yeah, because volatility makes, you know, that's what brings us here. That's why we're here, right? Most of us wouldn't be here for the idea of changing your life and all that stuff. You can change your life with crypto faster because it's volatile. But when it gets too volatile, it gets really hard to trade. And therefore, that DCAing and that hodl mentality is better, or a swing trade mentality where you only sell key levels, such as these origin lines. So, like, let's say it gets up to 500. Let's say, you know, in a series of multiple weeks, let's see, this is a pretty big line right here. For example, this line right here is probably the line that with my bag of Trias, which I do hold Trias, once it hits it, I will probably do a 20 to 30 bag. But I'm not going to be doing that until then. And that would be perhaps one of two of my sell points that then I only sell 20% to 30%, 1 to 2 times throughout the bull run, right? So that's an example of that. And this, honestly, because of all the respect that has been given on the 10, this could be one of the coin that, you know, personally, it seems like a no-brainer to treat it that way. However, obviously, if you like Trias from a smaller time frame perspective and you are comfortable with the chart, I'm not saying, you know, stop doing that, especially if you've been successful. What I am saying is, if you are a person who clicks around with Trias more than once a week to try to 10 bag, 20 bag, 30 bag, whatever, that will become much tougher and likely less profitable the more volatile to the upside this gets. Okay, so let's tinker around. So if with all this respect, it can technically have a bigger run than what I had here. So this is a hyper bullish scenario, but hyper bullish happens in crypto, right? Again, that's why we're here. This is indicating it could hit that top line. Whew. That'd be a big move. That'd be a big move, but it is technically allowed to do that after all this respect. I mean, that's $800 Trias before New Year. Wow. Wouldn't that be something? That's 100x. That might be a little bit too much. Maybe this was a little aggressive, folks. A lot of times you should be allowed to make a bigger run than your previous one without respect, but I think that might be a little too aggressive, given that this run might have been too aggressive, right? So I think this was unnaturally aggressive. But that's what the chart is saying. However, my gut is saying that's too aggressive because this portion was too aggressive. So I'm going to tone this down a little bit here. That's pretty. So yeah, I would say a super bullish target end of year, not end of bull run. I mean, this could go as high as almost $500 before the end of the year. It's kind of hard to tell because this was so darn aggressive on a percentage basis. Let's see here. Yeah, 5,000% is pretty hard to replicate, but it's still a small cap. It could do it. I just don't want to be super stupid like to the point of being stupid bullish. I would say 500 end of year is a very, very bullish scenario that could easily happen. I would say it has a 10% plus chance of happening. Is that the most probable? No, I think it's going to have trouble at this line maybe, and then relax on the weekly 10 one more time. How big of a run would that be? I mean, shit, that'd still be 21x before it did it. Whew. And that would put it at $181. Man. I don't know. This one could really go, folks. So yeah, in summary, I'm not always this bullish, folks, but Bitcoin so you need to watch that video. Bitcoin did just close a weekly candle. And I've been saying since Bitcoin was 30K, don't get bullish on altcoins until Bitcoin closes a weekly candle above 60K. And it just happened like hours ago. Literally, it hasn't even been a full day that candle closed. So I guess what I'd been saying for so long, back in June, July, even May, when the drop happened, late May, June, July, don't get bullish on altcoins until that happens. It happened. And so now I'm bullish. But I'm not always as bullish, new viewers. So I'm not going to sit here and get you when this crap's going to drop. I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to drop, right? So I won't lie to you. But anyway, that's what we got. Super bullish video. I honestly did not plan it to be that bullish, but things are aligning with Bitcoin's weekly closure. It looks like shit is about ready to get lit, folks. Y'all just got Timified.